Y'all, it's your girl, Sunshine, and I'm here today with a message because Spirit says you need to hear this. And whatever it is you need to hear, you know you can find that right here on my TikTok and my YouTube. If you haven't hit the follow button, go ahead. The full video of this video will be on YouTube. Make sure you hit the follow button there. Okay, y'all. So this morning, I'm not doing a love reading. I do that more at nighttime, but this is just more of an overall energy message for the collective. Maybe you need this message. Maybe you're confused about a situation. Maybe you need help making a choice. So this is your message. Find what you need in this message to help you maneuver through whatever it is that you're dealing with. So as y'all can see, when I started the video, make time for yourself fell out. It fell out by itself. Collective, this must be a time in your life where it's time for you to make time for yourself. It's not a time for you to be focusing on everybody else. You can't take care of everybody else if you're not good yourself. And I always say that, like, the kids can't be good if you're not good. The house not going to be ran straight if you're not good. The money not going to flow right if you not, if the mother is not good, because the mother is the meat of the house, whether people want to accept that or not. The father too. But I'm just saying, whether you're a man or a woman, you got to be right with you in order for things to be right around you, So this is a time where you need to make some time for yourself, collective. And like I said, I was shuffling the cards, this fell out. So I'm guessing this is the energy that we about to tap into this morning. Like I said, this is not a love reading. This is more of an overall energy reading. Maybe you need to hear this. Maybe you confused about something. Maybe you got a choice between you and somebody. You feel like you don't want to do something, but you're still doing it, even though you feel like you shouldn't do it. Put it where it resonates. You are a collective. I'm just here to help you out. So let's tap on into it and let's see what Spirit wants us to know. Why is make time for yourself here for the collective? Why is that here? Why is make time for yourself here for the collective? Why is make time for yourself here for the collective? If you would like to donate to the channel, you can donate by sending gifts through TikTok, by loving this video or sharing it. So we have be patient. So collective is something that you need in your life, or something that you want to see change in your life, but you have to be patient with whatever this is. This could have something to do with your security. This could have something to do with you needing help in a certain area of your life, but you got to be honest with yourself about whatever this is. You feel me? And in order to achieve whatever this is that you're trying to get, you got to make time for yourself. You understand that? And being patient is a doorway to making time for yourself. It's one of our greatest virtues is patience. Learn to be patient with yourself and others. So I'm really getting more of you being patient with yourself. We don't learn things overnight. Things don't change overnight. We don't get over certain habits overnight. Things take time, collective. So I'm hearing take time with yourself. The turtle won the race. The hare thought he was going to win the race. The bunny, the rabbit. Y'all know what story I'm talking about. That's one of my favorite folktales. It's when that bunny thought he was going to beat the tortoise. And the tortoise enjoyed the journey instead of trying to win the race. And that's why that rabbit lost the race. Because, see, the tortoise was focusing on what he could learn from the race. He was focused on what he could take in from himself for the race. While the rabbit was worried about just beating the tortoise because he thought it was slow. You feel me, collective? So don't beat yourself up, and be patient with yourself with whatever this is that you're trying to do in life or go in life, or you know your story. Be patient. Feel me? And make time for yourself. Okay, so why is be patient here? Why is it here for the collective? So we got more laughter. Stop stressing about whatever it is you're stressing about, collective, and find the laughter in it. You know how sometimes you be so mad and somebody could come around you and make you laugh and you be like, I needed that laugh, Laughter is medicine to the soul. It's scientifically proven. The more you laugh, the more dopamine inside you release. So whatever this is that you're dealing with, or whatever this is that you're dealing with yourself, be patient with yourself and laugh at some of this shit, because some of this shit is funny anyway. It is when you think about it. It's a crown. I can't see the truth. So you may be a little confused about whatever this is, when it comes down to yourself. But I don't know, like if you somebody that do yoga, but it's different types of yoga, collective. Maybe you need to get more into yoga, meditating, you know, doing they got, y'all know the yoga where they do the poses and they sit with their legs crossed. Maybe you need to try to tap into that. Yoga could be reading too. You could read up on yoga. I'm getting more of like self-healing, spending more time with yourself, tapping into those type of holistic healing things, to help you come more into, like, when you making a decision, if you ain't right with yourself, you ain't going to be able to make no decision, because you need yourself to make a decision. People got to understand that. It's not you and somebody else making the decision. It's always you and yourself first. You feel me? Self-love. So you got to be right within in order to make the right decisions you need to move forward. You understand, collective? It say accept and act and then work with it and then against it. So there could have been people that did things to you, but the Holy Spirit is telling me to tell you to accept it, act on it, and then work with it. In other words, don't let what's happening around you stop you. Accept what's happening, act on it, try to clean it up the best way you can, or try to maneuver through it the best way you can, and then work against it. Don't allow it to stop you. You understand me? So Spirit is saying be patient with yourself, We have out with the old and in with the new. We have an amethyst. So collective, maybe you need to get an amethyst. Maybe you like amethyst healing stones. But this is a season where you are leaving the past behind. You're starting a new beginning. Some type of transformation is about to happen in your life. But before this can happen for you, you need to make time with yourself. Look at how far you came. Look at how far you're trying to go. Spend some time with yourself. I'm getting that this is what you need to be doing at this time. We got the turquoise healing stone. It say use wisdom. You are whole. Have integrity. So use what you feel within to guide you through whatever this is with yourself. Quiet the mind so the soul can speak. I'm getting that maybe this is the time for you to go in hermit mode, collective. A lot of people think hermit mode is you running away, but hermit mode is really you spending some time with yourself, getting to know yourself, And when you do go in hermit mode with yourself and you think about the things that went wrong, or you think about how things could have went, don't beat yourself up about it, Laugh at it. Laugh at the lessons. Laugh at the mistakes. But just don't beat yourself up. And say 2 traps you need to avoid: caring what people think and thinking they care. So collective, forget what anybody got to think or say about you right now. Right now, this is just the time for you to focus on you and yourself. This is a look. And then we got I ain't scared to change. Fuck around and find out. So collective, I'm getting that you growing out of something, or you growing past something, And like I said, this may be happening because you making time for yourself, or you being more patient with yourself. But whatever this is that you're doing, it's helping you grow, and it's faith over fear. So it's like you have faith in your future. Don't be afraid of what could happen next, or don't be afraid of what could go wrong, But all of these things you will find out as you make time for yourself. We have security. It say be careful not to be drawn into a false sense of security. Security begins only when trust has been established. So collective, this goes for relationships. This goes for friends. Don't just be jumping into stuff with people. You heard? When you make time for yourself, you gonna know this. Especially if you somebody that's kind and giving. You like to give. You like to share. If you that type of person, then you got to set boundaries with certain people, because it's just naturally who you are. Give me more on security. Why is that here? It say you won't always be motivated, so you must learn discipline. You won't always be motivated, so you won't always have somebody around you to tell you, protect your energy, Protect your heart. You have to tell yourself these things. You heard, collective? You have to protect your heart. You have to, set boundaries. You have to know that you're okay with starting something new. You have to know that you're okay with beginning a new relationship without feeling like it's gonna go wrong. It's a ocean, so you could be somebody who's into the orishas. It's a don't say maybe if you want to say no. If somebody come in your life and you don't want to participate, or you don't want to hang out with them, or they don't make you feel settled, don't be afraid to say no. No should be your best friend now, collective. At this season of your life, no should be your best friend. You don't want to do something, it's no. And if somebody can accept that, they don't accept you. Hold on, y'all, real quick. So there may be somebody that you need to tell no to right now, collective. But when you say no, it's putting yourself first. Then we have purging or release of emotional tension through art and music. So maybe this is a time for you to do art, collective. Maybe this is a time for you to listen to some good music. This is a day for you to focus on yourself. Make it a week. This is a week for you to just focus on yourself. Make some time for yourself, collective. It say be stronger than your excuses. We have the number 8, so you could be a Leo. And it said, did it alone, did it broke, did it tired, did it scared, and still doing it. So collective, you could be somebody, you did everything on your own. You built who you are from the ground up with no help, only from God. You heard, collective? So even with that, you need to pat yourself on the back for that. You need to pat yourself on the back for what you got through. I'm telling you, this is a time for you to really sit back and reflect. This is a time of reflection for you, through the good and the bad. You heard? And laugh at the bad times. Smile at the good times. But this is really a time of reflection, collective. That's what's in the energy for today. That's what I'm getting, Give me more on honesty. It says it has always been said that honesty is the best policy. Always remember to be honest with yourself and others, and be honest with yourself about things that didn't go right in your life. You got to make peace with things. You heard, collective? That's the only way you can move forward from them. Make peace with your mistakes. Make peace with the times you should have said no, but you didn't. Make peace with all of that. This is how you're going to be able to move forward. Give me more honesty. Everything is hard before it's easy. You got to understand. I'm getting really like, you probably had a rough beginning in life. It didn't start out peaches and cream. But your life didn't start out that way for a reason, collective. To train you for what was next. When I was young, I used to be like, damn, I don't know why people don't like me. I'm mad nice. You heard? I didn't understand why they didn't like me. I wasn't supposed to change myself. But then I started looking at it. As I got older, even when I went other places, these same type of energies used to follow me. I didn't understand. You heard? But even at this big age here, people still don't like me. There's some people that like me, and some people that love what I do. And then there's some people that's jealous that it's me. You heard? But since I was young, I was trained. I feel like God trained me to be prepared for what's to come when I become who I am today. Far as helping people heal and having gifts and sharing it with the world. Some people gonna like it, and some people not gonna like it. You feel me? And those that don't like it may send me the evil eye. They may send me evil energy. They may want to see me fail. But I'm so skilled in that area that none of that could touch me or affect me. I'm still going to do me. You heard? And the reason why it's like that is because I made time for myself. I noticed the patterns that was happening in my life. I noticed things that kept coming around me even when I was in different areas. People don't believe that spirits could body hop, but they do. And people could try to act like they don't know what I'm talking about. But I always bring this up. You ever dated a man and then left them alone and then got with somebody else and they remind you of the same person you was just with? That's because the spirit is still the same. The body is just different. You understand? But when you make time for yourself and you look at certain patterns in your life and things that went wrong and, this, that, and the third, then you're able to see these things and how to maneuver around these things. You feel me? So these days when people was When I first came out with showing that I knew how to read, because I've been knew how to read cards since 12. I just didn't come out and show people that because I didn't want nobody to judge me. But when I did come out and let the world know this is what I do, and I started getting like, attention for it, people started making up rumors about me. They start saying I was doing this, I was doing that, but I was already skilled, trained for that. For people to be lying on me, because when I grew up, people was lying on me. When I was growing up, people was hating on me. So when the time came for me to show out and show and prove who the fuck I really was, and all of those, evil thoughts and evil eyes was coming towards me, I knew how to handle that. Why? Because I made time for myself. I was honest with myself about a lot of things. You understand, collective? So everything is hard before it's easy. There's a great power in keeping calm while being misunderstood. Didn't I just tell y'all that? So be honest with yourself about the things you've been through. It may have broke you, but it made your spirit stronger. Remember the lesson and not what happened. I just said that to y'all though. Remember the lesson and not what happened. I just explained to y'all before I flip these cards over that it's always hard before it's easy. Like people saying, oh, Shaniqua evil, she doing voodoo. That could have broke me. But because I went through what I went through early in life, you heard? I knew how to dodge them lies, the hate, the envy. Because I made time for myself growing up. Or I made time for myself when things wasn't going right. I had patience with myself. You understand, collective? But it's all about the lesson, not what happened. So whatever you went through in life or whatever tried to stop you, understand that this happened to make you spiritually stronger. You understand? For what's coming next. Remember the lesson, not what happened to you, collective. It happened, yeah, but what's the lesson you got out of it? What's the part of it that you could laugh at now that you wasn't laughing at back then? Don't be afraid to hug yourself. Don't be afraid to go within, collective. Don't be afraid to make time for yourself. Because the more time you make for yourself, the more easy and clearer your path gonna get. And the more easy it'll be for everybody around you, including the kids. You heard, collective? We got twin flame, but I'm getting more of a twin. You going against yourself. Look, you look at this girl here. This is the real her hiding behind here. So it's time to release yourself, collective. Release these things. Forgive yourself. Make time for yourself. And make time for yourself to release things that no longer serve you. Because it's stuff that you want in life. It's probably things that you're praying for. But God cannot give it to you if you ain't making time for yourself. If God give you what you want and you ain't making time for yourself, how you going to have the discipline to keep it? You understand, collective? Then we got get help. Get help. Life can become overwhelming and sometimes even unmanageable. Now would be a great time to reach out for help before your problems destroy you. So you may be dealing with a lot right now. You probably needed this message, collective. Make some time for yourself. That's all I got to say. Get help. Why is that here? Make time for yourself. Look, this came out again. Teach your children what you learned late. If you don't show your children to make time for themselves, they not gonna know that. You gotta show them an example of that. It say I'm loved and supported. Stop second guessing yourself, collective. Be patient with yourself. Your potential to succeed is infinite. One day at a time. You got this. So you may be healing through something right now, collective. You're not speaking about. No offense, but fuck you. So there could have been people that broke your heart. There could have been people that put you last. There could have been people that you put first that put you last. But right now, this is a no offense, but fuck you. I can't help you right now. I got to help myself. This is your selfish era right now, collective. This is your selfish era. And there's nothing wrong with taking time for yourself. It say snake tells lies, watch your back. So you can have people around you that they don't want you to love yourself. Because see, if you start loving yourself, then they gotta get the fuck. They gotta go. And people don't want to. Once you start loving yourself and loving who you have around you, people start falling off. You don't hang around certain people no more. You don't do the stuff that you used to do. No, you think people want you to change? You think people want you to move past that? No, they want you to stay stuck. So it could be people around you that's trying to stop you from making time for yourself. or stop you from, spending time with yourself. It say not interested in repeated lessons. A lot of times we go through stuff because we don't want to accept the truth. Once you learn a lesson, you don't have to go through it again and again and again and again. That's a karmic cycle. Nobody got time to be stuck in the karmic cycle. Then we got 777. Look, wonderful things are about to happen. Be balanced. Be humble. And then we got balance. When you become balanced in yourself, things start changing around you. I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience. When you become balanced in yourself and you forgive yourself for stuff and you forgive people for the people that never even apologize to you. Once you start spending time with yourself, you start healing yourself. You ain't got to pay nobody to heal you. You just got to be able to accept the truth about what it is that you've been through and why you went through it. So let me get y'all a closing card. This was a quick read, nothing too long. I truly hope y'all enjoyed this reading. I will be going live later on love though. But this is just a little quick message for somebody that needed it. You heard, collective? There's something that you want. You may be seeking advice for it. So I'm going to give you a little answer to it. And you take what resonate and leave what don't. What is the answer to the question that the collective is asking right now when it comes to them focusing more on themselves? It say this diversion is needed. So whatever this is that you're going through, collective, this need to happen. This needs to happen. This, whatever choice this is, this had to come. You probably like, why I got to make this choice? Or where this choice come from? Or, why I always got to make a certain type of choice? We have no. We have yes, most certainly. And then we have no. It was never yours to begin with. So, collective, I feel like when it comes down to this, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, you put it where it resonate. This tower moment had to happen between you and this person so you could look more into yourself. Maybe you wanted this person. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Whatever this was, inside you feeling like it's a no. You heard? But on the outside, you may be feeling like it's a yes. So whatever this is, you may be confused about. Follow what you feel. And I feel like your insides is telling you no. To whatever this choice this is that you want to make or whatever decision this is, you feel like it's a no. But like I said, sometimes we want to ignore what it is, what we feel. That's why I'm telling you, collective, this is a time to really go within, because you going within right now could really help you with whatever the decision this is that you're making. And it could also help you understand why you feel like it's a no right now. So I truly hope y'all enjoyed this reading. And I'll definitely see you guys on the next one.